Just outside the small town of Wharton, Texas, sits an old abandoned farmhouse. It's a relic of an age gone by, forgotten except by time, until recently, when Broadway paid a visit.
There's just something really very beautiful about being in this space.
Academy Award-nominated actress Cicely Tyson came all the way out here, not as a tourist, but as a sleuth of sorts, to research her latest role.
My gratification in working comes from the preparation and the building of the character.
Turns out that old farmhouse is a character too.
When you've lived longer than your house and your family, you've lived too long.
Tyson stars in the revival of the 1953 drama The Trip to Bountiful. She plays Mother Watts, a woman in the twilight of her life who longs to leave the big city of Houston and return to her childhood home of Bountiful.
I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go.
Roy, quick, call a doctor.
No doctor. Right. No doctor. Bountiful. Bountiful. Bountiful.
Bountiful existed only in the mind's eye of Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Horton Foote.
And then just down this block,
it was his daughter, Hallie, who guided Tyson on her mission to uncover the subtleties of the role. The play was inspired by this land, where her father grew up.
So this is the house.
Mm-hmm.
Horton Foote was raised here in Wharton.
And then in here is where he used to write.
He lived here, on and off, until he died in 2009.
Oh.
Geraldine Page won an Oscar playing Mother Watts in the 1985 film version. Tyson never forgot that performance.
Goodbye, Bountiful.
When her chance came to play the part on stage,
Goodbye.
She knew she had to make her own trip to Wharton to really understand the role.
Is there anything specific you're looking for, or you're just waiting for the town to sort of speak to you?
I am just absorbing everything that's here. Everything.
It's a long way from her days growing up in Harlem, where her mother, a very religious woman, thought the world of modeling and acting was a den of iniquity. So much so, she kicked Tyson out of the house after she landed her first job.
My mother didn't talk to me for 2 years.
Was that hard on you?
Yes, it was, but I also knew that what I was feeling was so compelling that nothing was going to stop me.
And nothing did stop her. For a time, she was one of the most talked about actresses in Hollywood. Her 7-year marriage to jazz great Miles Davis only kept her in the spotlight. As an actress, she chose her roles carefully, rarely taking on a character unless she felt it contributed something to the national dialogue on civil rights.
I wanted to address certain issues, and I chose to use my career as my platform.
And how did you go about doing that?
Just simply ruling out what I wouldn't do.
What did you rule out?
Films that dealt with us as less than human. The type that, is great for making money for producers, but does nothing to enhance the race itself, or women.
In 1972, her performance as the wife of a Southern sharecropper in Sounder earned her an Oscar nomination. And then there was Roots, where Tyson played the mother of Kunta Kinte, who was taken into slavery.
How big an impact did that have on your life and your career?
Wow. It is the one thing I believe that has touched every single culture and race.
She is perhaps most identified with the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. Her performance won her a Primetime Emmy for Actress of the Year in 1974.
Mom, it wasn't a den of iniquity after all.
Tyson played a former slave who lived to be 110 years old, long enough to see the civil rights movement. The scene of her sipping from a white-only water fountain for the very first time remains iconic.
When you look back, do you think you have made a difference?
I hope I have. I hope so. I'm told so every day. And that's very rewarding. It's very satisfying.
I got a crown up in the kingdom, and that's good news.
She's still trying to make a difference, especially here, at the Cicely Tyson School for the Performing Arts in East Orange, New Jersey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
She put more than her name out front. She's actively involved in the students' well-being.
How have you been since I last visited you?
How often are you here?
I come every chance I get. I sometimes teach a master class in acting.
You tell her to pick that up. I won't. You will. This is my house and you'll do as you're told.
It's her first time back on Broadway in 30 years.
What you want to do?
That's a fact not lost on Tyson's co-star, Vanessa Williams,
You're going to go too far with me one of these days, old lady.
who plays Mother Watt's daughter-in-law.
And it takes me back to when I was a kid, lying in bed watching TV and watching her in Miss Jane Pittman. Those were the performances that made me want to be an actress.
Was it really?
Yeah, absolutely. Her image was part of what educated us about slavery, about Jim Crow, about her experience as a black woman that she portrayed, beautifully in the pieces in the work that she did.
At a recent Sunday service at the Eastgate Baptist Church back in Texas, Tyson was again in research mode. Something else to take back to Broadway. Her fans look on her as much as a beacon of social conscience as an award-winning actress. Cicely Tyson seems quite happy to play both those roles. She won't confirm just how old she really is. By some accounts, she's 88.
You think you're ever going to retire?
There's no age limit on this. You just work till you're 110. I'm not Jane Pittman.
That could be you.
That's right.